What if I want to get my back blown out in peace? You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old? That's a year old, y'all. Let's be fucking for real.
Let me tell you why I'm so happy. Because it looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron Pierre, that's Teyana.
It all began on a seemingly ordinary Friday night under the dazzling premiere lights of downtown Los Angeles. The kind of night where everyone's eyes are glued to the stars walking the red carpet, cameras flashing nonstop. Everyone knew Aaron Pierre would be there. He had been promoting his new film relentlessly for weeks, teasing his fans and the media alike. But what no one expected was how that night would spiral into chaos, how a moment meant to celebrate success would instead ignite a storm that would shatter lives. The buzz around the event wasn't just about the film or the glitz. It centered on one question: would Teyana Taylor show up? Rumors had been swirling for months. People whispered about tension, about cracks in their relationship. Some said Teyana had been avoiding the spotlight, retreating ever since whispers about Aaron's lack of devotion began to surface. But no one really knew the full story. Until a video surfaced, a short, grainy clip that would change everything. Before the red carpet even finished, social media exploded with a video showing Aaron standing dangerously close to his co-star. In the footage, he leaned in, his mouth nearly brushing her cheek, while she giggled nervously, covering her lips with a manicured hand like a teenager caught sneaking out past curfew. The clip spread like wildfire. Fans scrambled to screen record it, some treating it like harmless fun, others feeling a deep pit in their stomachs. The way Aaron whispered into her ear wasn't a casual joke. It looked intimate, rehearsed even. This wasn't the first time, many believed. As the video circulated, fans flooded Teyana's inbox with messages she likely wished she never had to read. But curiosity, as always, won. By the time the premiere wrapped, the clip had gone viral. Gossip pages with millions of followers reposted it with headlines like, "Does Aaron have a secret?" and "Taya deserves better." The craziest part? Aaron didn't seem fazed. When asked if Teyana would join him later that night, he smirked and said, "She's got her own thing tonight." There was no nervousness, no attempt to downplay the rumors. He seemed to enjoy the attention, perhaps even thrived on it. And that's what made the whole story so twisted. Somewhere deep inside, Aaron might have relished being at the center of the scandal. But this wasn't just about one video or one night. To truly understand how things fell apart, you had to rewind months. Behind Teyana's back, whispers grew louder. The late-night phone calls Aaron took outside, the cold silences stretching longer with each week. Those close to Teyana revealed she had long suspected something was off. She noticed the way he drifted away emotionally, how his mind seemed elsewhere. But she clung to hope, convincing herself it was just career stress. After all, she wanted to believe he was the man she fell in love with, the man who helped her rebuild after her painful split from a man. Their love story was never simple. Teyana, trying to piece together a new life after years of public heartbreak and scrutiny, saw Aaron as an escape, a chance to feel loved again. He knew exactly how to charm her, how to make her laugh on days when the weight of the world seemed too much. But love, as we all know, can blind us. And sometimes, the person you trust to hold you together is the one slowly breaking you apart. So when Teyana's phone lit up with endless messages that night, she ignored them at first. She didn't want to see the captions, the accusations, the judgments. But as the notifications piled up, curiosity gnawed at her resolve. She finally clicked the video. All she saw was Aaron's hand resting on that woman's waist. A touch meant to be hidden, a private moment exposed for the world. It was a betrayal that shattered her heart in ways she didn't know were possible. Sources close to Teyana say she called her best friend immediately, tears streaming as she struggled to speak. "How could he embarrass me like this?" she asked repeatedly. She had defended Aaron countless times, told everyone he wasn't like the others, that he cared deeply for her daughter, that he understood how fragile her trust was. Yet here he was, caught on camera proving every doubt she ever had. While Teyana was falling apart in private, Aaron was at the after-party, grinning with a drink in hand, flashing smiles for the cameras. Did he truly believe the fallout wouldn't come? Maybe he thought he could talk his way out of it, call Teyana with the same sweet voice that always pulled her back in. Maybe he hoped she would swallow her pride once more, the way she had before. But this time, the world had seen the truth. By morning, the internet had become a battlefield. Twitter exploded with threads analyzing Aaron's body language, the lingering touches, the secretive whispers. People slowed the video down frame by frame, desperate to decode his lips. Some were convinced he said, "I miss you." Others insisted it was, "You look beautiful." Regardless of the words, it didn't matter anymore. It was enough to confirm what so many feared. Teyana wasn't the only woman in Aaron's heart. As the rumors raged, Teyana finally broke her silence. Not with a lengthy post or an emotional video, but through simple, powerful Instagram stories. First, a black screen with white text. "Respect isn't optional." Hours later, another. "Protect your peace." Fans flooded her with messages of love, telling her she deserved so much more. They had rooted for her, hoping this relationship was her fresh start after everything she had been through with a man. And in those messages, you could feel the collective heartbreak of everyone who had wanted her happiness. Aaron waited nearly a full day before responding. His publicist issued a short statement calling the moment harmless, blaming the media for blowing it out of proportion. But no one bought it. The co-star quietly disabled comments on her Instagram and liked posts about moving on quietly. It all felt like a carefully choreographed attempt to hide the truth in plain sight. Behind the scenes, Teyana's team scrambled to decide the best way forward. They knew silence wouldn't last forever. If Teyana didn't speak, people would fill the gaps with their own stories. But she wasn't ready. She needed time to process the betrayal, to figure out if she even wanted to salvage anything. Friends said she spent the entire weekend at home with her daughter, trying to keep their routine normal, even as the internet tore her life apart. Meanwhile, Aaron vanished from public view. Some insiders said he stayed at a friend's house to dodge the paparazzi. Others claimed he bombarded Teyana with texts, begging to meet face-to-face, but she refused. She had already heard his excuses echo in her mind, and she couldn't bear to hear them again out loud. The thought of facing him, listening to empty apologies, was unbearable. When Monday morning came, Teyana emerged, photographed leaving a studio in New York, wearing oversized sunglasses, expressionless. Reporters shouted questions about whether she was done with Aaron. She didn't answer. But the way she held her head high spoke volumes. She was done explaining herself. For the first time in days, she looked like she was reclaiming her power. But the story didn't end there. Later that evening, Aaron posted a video of himself walking alone by the water, a somber backdrop to his words. He insisted he never meant to hurt anyone and that the video was misinterpreted. "Sometimes people want to see something that isn't there," he said, trying to paint himself as the victim of a misjudged moment. But the damage was done. No apology could erase the image burned into everyone's mind. The days that followed saw the story take on a life of its own. Gossip columns, social media threads, and whispered conversations filled with rumors. An anonymous source dropped bombshells, claiming Aaron had been flirting with his co-star for months. Late-night texts, secret meetings, stolen glances, the kind of scandal that turns a messy breakup into a full-blown public spectacle. Then came more insiders, sharing juicy details about the co-star boasting of more than just a professional relationship with Aaron. The rumor mill churned faster than anyone could keep up. Fans who once stood by Aaron like loyal soldiers turned on him with venomous fury. His Instagram flooded with snake emojis, accusations of betrayal, and claims he used Teyana for fame or sympathy. Yet Aaron remained silent, or worse, indifferent, never once issuing a heartfelt apology. Meanwhile, Teyana quietly reclaimed her narrative. She refused to engage in the drama, but didn't hide either. She posted a simple photo of herself and her daughter with the caption, "My why?" It was a subtle but fierce reminder to the world, no matter how many times she was broken, her daughter was her anchor, her motivation to rise above it all. By the end of the week, it was undeniable. Their relationship was over. Close friends confirmed Teyana had cut all ties with Aaron, blocking his number, telling mutual friends not to pass along messages, and making it clear she wasn't interested in reopening old wounds. She needed space, a fortress of silence to heal on her own terms, and no one would rush her journey. This was no longer a story about a broken romance. It was a story about a woman taking back her life, one painful, powerful step at a time. As the headlines faded and the frenzy died down, fans were left wondering, how did it all fall apart so fast? How could a couple that seemed perfect, almost like a fairy tale, be so broken when no one was watching? Maybe that's the truth behind every perfect picture. Love isn't always what it seems. Those fairy tales we idolize. often fragile illusions, glittering on the surface but cracking under pressure. The messy, complicated reality hides behind smiles and Instagram posts. And in those quiet moments when the cameras turn away and the world stops watching, Teyana faced her reflection, raw, honest, and stronger than ever before. She held onto memories, both sweet and painful. But above all, she carried one undeniable truth: she deserved more. More than whispered secrets, more than public shame disguised as private drama. She deserved a love that lifted her up, not tore her down. Maybe this heartbreak was a painful ending. Or maybe, just maybe, it was the beginning of something real, something better that no one could ever take away. And as the world moved on to the next scandal, Teyana was already planning her next chapter. She knew healing wouldn't happen overnight, but she also knew she wouldn't stay broken forever. Because no matter how much someone tries to dim your light, it always finds a way to shine again.